We're officially recording. The title of this live is called The Real Holy Trinity. And for some, this probably will resonate with you. But you probably couldn't put your finger on it. You didn't really understand it, but it was so basic and so simple. But I've been getting a lot of communication, a lot of uploads and a lot of downloads. And so I wanted to share with you guys some information that came to me that gave me a better understanding. And also I hope this clears up any confusion for any of the women that are listening to this live. Because I needed to get some clarity about things, because there was a lot of things I just didn't understand. All right. Let me start at the time when the wars were taking place amongst the gods. And there was a great war that did take place between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. This must be understood. During the time period of when those wars took place. You know, the old saying, so above, so below. As the wars were taking place above, the wars were also taking place below. And so there has been a lot of master manipulation that has taken place in various religions, various spiritual traditions, that always seems to put the man at the lead. The woman's always less than, always dirty, always a whore, always this and always that. We've been demonized. We've been called the synagogue of Satan. We've been called witches. We've been called all these different things, right? But no one ever really stopped to critically think and ask that question as far as on the male side, of course, because it doesn't benefit you to ask you these questions. You were raised to think that patriarchy is the way it's supposed to be. That's the way you were raised. You were raised in a patriarchy society. Everywhere you go on the planet, it's mainly patriarchy, right? This is what they show you in the movies. This is what they talk about in the music. So the programming has been ingrained in you for a very long period of time. And the women have also come to accept this, but we also have always questioned things. Well, back in those days, you don't question God. Remember? You don't question God. You don't go to your pastor. You don't ask him questions. You don't do any of that. You don't question God. Well, I'm here. I'm going to blow this shit out the water the way it needs to be blown out. Because during the time period when those wars were taking place, they did everything in their power to stamp out the divine feminine. Because if they were to acknowledge the truth, that means they would have to hold the woman in higher regard than themselves. And this is in every single religion, every single tradition. Even though some of these traditions operate off of the divine feminine energy, meaning that they're in harmony and they understand that they have to tap into their divine feminine side in order for them to be creative, in order for them to expand their spirituality. They respect the divine feminine energy, but they have an issue with the woman, who is the physical representation of the divine feminine. The males are the physical representation of the divine masculine. Okay? Even though we have both, I'm just letting you know from that perspective what you are the physical representation of. Now, when we say Most High, even I was confused on this, and I got some clarity on it. When we say Most High, we know about Olodumare as the Most High. A lot of y'all didn't even know that name even existed, that he was even known as that name, because you've known his name to be other names. Same being, Yahweh, all of them. All those names that you know that refers to the Most High or the one God, okay? That's the one male God does come from Olodumare. He is the first.
Shut up!
And then there's the divine mother, the divine feminine, the goddess, who her name was never mentioned. Her name was never mentioned. But yet, when you go through scriptures and things like that, you might find her name, who's God's wife. You might actually find her name. Okay? Now, when I looked at the scriptures to see what they had to say about this particular goddess, there's not a whole lot about her. There are stories about how God supposedly put a command out to destroy all of her shrines so people would not worship her, or people would not acknowledge her for the sake of everybody worshiping the male god, the main one. Because there are plenty of male gods, but he is the Most High. But also, she is the Most High. So let me explain something to you. The Most High is actually one deity, or considered to be one deity in a sense. The true Trinity, though, is Father, Mother, then Son. That is the true Trinity. It isn't Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It is it's Mother, Father, then Son. Yes, the Son does exist. In our tradition, we call him Elohim. In the Christian tradition, you guys call him Jesus. However, that Jesus story was manipulated. When they said that he was born from a virgin birth, that's incorrect information. That never happened. There's books in the scripture that talks about God having divorce. Guys don't need to have divorces, so let's use some common sense and let's not put them in a human category because it'll be an asinine for you to do so. Okay? That never happened. Okay? So when you think of the Trinity, the true Trinity is actually the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and then the Son. And the Son is considered to be the second God. So not only is Jesus, aka Elohim, an ascended master, but he is also the second God to exist. The second one. So you have Mother, Father to represent one. And then you have Jesus or Elohim to represent two. Two gods. Now, when I found this shit out, that shit blew my damn wig back. My shit went out to the ocean. I said, damn. And it was so obvious, and it was right there in front of our faces, but we weren't able to put it together in the way that I'm putting it together for you now. So yes, the Most High is also the Great Mother. Okay? And I'm going to reveal your name to her as soon as I'm being given the name. You know what I'm saying? They have not given me her name. I've been waiting patiently to get that name, but they told me it's not time for that to be revealed to me yet. But it will be revealed, and when I get the name, I will let you guys know the name. But I do know that she does exist. That much I do know. For sure, she exists. And had various interactions with this great mother. Okay? But I just wanted to point this thing out to you guys about this, because I had questions. I'm like, okay, so who's who and what's what? So let me just talk about this here. The man was made physically stronger because of the role that they were supposed to play. The role is to be a protector. The woman is the caregiver. His role was also to be a provider, while the woman was able to be in her divine feminine and being able to take care of those children and whatever else needed to be done. But her role as a divine feminine is to continue to incorporate love in her children and everything that she does. When you see a woman in her divine masculine, it is because she is in an environment that she does not trust. So therefore, it takes her out of her divine feminine and places her in her divine masculine. If she's in a relationship with a man, and she does not trust you, you're going to see her more in a take charge role. That's divine masculine. When you start to see a woman in more of a take charge role, she's in her divine masculine. So a lot of you ladies out here are out of balance. You're out of balance. You're supposed to be in your divine feminine. You switch over to your divine masculine only when necessary. You don't volunteer to be in your divine masculine all of the damn time, which is the reason why a lot of y'all are single. Because you don't know how to turn it off. When a divine masculine is around, you need to be in your divine feminine at all times. At the same time, to the men, this doesn't mean that you beat on your women. This doesn't mean that you control your women. You just doesn't mean that you treat them like a doormat. Because truth be told, a woman is spiritually stronger than you are. Period. That's just the way that it is. She is naturally, spiritually stronger than you, and she is also more advanced in intelligence than you. This is the reason why when you come across men and a woman at the same age, you'll notice that she's a lot more mature than the male is. Why is that? Because that's the way she was instilled. She's reared and she's been created to continue to procreate life. And in order to do that, you have to have a certain amount of maturity. That motherly instinct or that motherly energy within you. Even though some of you swear, but now you don't want to have any children, you still have that divine feminine energy within you that you choose to reject. Which is the reason why you're suffering from womb issues, blockages, things of that nature. Fibroids, endometriosis. Shit like that are nothing more than symptoms of you being in your divine masculine entirely too long. That energy has to go somewhere, so it's going to your womb area, creating a blockage because you are blocked from connecting to your divine feminine. Therefore, it's going to come out in a physical manifestation of such. So if you're suffering from fibroids, if you're suffering from womb issues on that level, then you need to take a step back and ask yourself, who are you? Have you been operating in your divine feminine? Or have you been operating in your divine masculine? When you like a guy, do you chase after him or do you allow him to chase after you? Are you the aggressor or is he the aggressor? Is he pursuing you or are you pursuing him? I want you to pay attention to certain things because these things you may not have even realized was an issue in terms of how you carry yourself. Being a boss bitch is cool, but you have to be able to balance that energy out. Because if you don't have a divine masculine to balance that energy out, then you're the divine masculine. Then you're a boss bitch with no husband and no kids. Or you got kids, but you don't have a counterpart. So just so y'all know, this has been going on since the inception of creation. So for those of you who want to argue against it, well, take that up with the Most High Father and the Most High Mother and let me know how that works out for you. Hell, take it up with the Son. Let me know how that works out for you. I don't think that conversation is going to get very far because you operate within your ignorance. Because you've been exposed to those who operate in an unnatural state of being. And you think that that's normal because you have adapted to ways that do not belong to you. Those that are direct opposition to nature, and you're listening to that, and you're not paying attention to what you're naturally aligned with, everything that comes with that falls on you. But there is a reason why the male and the female are out of balance. There's a reason why the marriages don't stick around. There's a reason why. And they try to blame it on society woes. They try to blame it on this. They try to blame it on that. When the truth of the matter is everybody's just acting not in the way that they should be carrying themselves. Because you were told by TV and those who are corrupt, those who do not have morals, put that information out there, having you thinking that this is the way things are supposed to be. And now because you've gotten exposed to that, it's kind of like when Eve ate the fruit and then she came into the real self-realization that she, in fact, as a guide like everybody else when they said that God wanted everybody to walk around, wanted Eve and her husband not to have certain knowledge, for them to operate without certain knowledge, and she ate the forbidden fruit. Well, let me tell you what the forbidden fruit was. This is gonna blow your damn wig back when I tell y'all this. The forbidden fruit wasn't an apple. It was the vagina. That was the forbidden fruit that Eve was not supposed to eat. She was not supposed to eat the vagina of another woman. See, they took certain parts out the book. And it's not that she became awakened, she became corrupted. So they manipulated because they were pushing certain agendas in that book of homosexuality. Okay? Heavy in the book. So I'm letting you know what the real deal is. Anytime that anybody participates in the forbidden fruits, they become corrupt, because that's not the way it was supposed to be from the beginning. Now we've gotten to a space now where we come to accept certain things because society norms and society pressures and things like that. But if you pay close attention to certain things, you have to start asking yourself, what are the ramifications? What are the ramifications of these things taking place on a larger scale? The goal here also was about not only corruption, but also depopulation. Because if you have a whole species that is carrying themselves a particular way, they do not have the ability to be able to procreate. What did God say? Be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. That's how we were supposed to carry it. That's how it's always been. How do you think 7 billion people got on the damn planet? Because we were fruitful and we multiplied. Then they turned around and they put a lie out there that said the earth has too many people on it. Meanwhile, you got about, well, God knows how many more continents on this actual plane that they're not telling you about, but they got you believing that everything is overpopulated. You see, when they start pushing out agendas like that, this is when you're supposed to be doing some critical thinking and asking yourself questions. Now, we understand that we know about the 7 continents that's inside, that we're on the inside part of this thing. We understand that. But also at the same time, there's so much information out there now, there's no need for us to walk around in ignorance. A little bit of research won't hurt. We understand that they're doing a lot of censoring, but they have so many different sites and so many different browsers and shit that you can go to. You don't have to use Google. You don't have to use DuckDuckGo. Go to Yandex. Go to use the Russia search engine, and you'll find out a whole lot more shit. Or go to other different search engines overseas, and you'll be able to start pulling up more shit that you could pull up on Google. Go to the libraries. Go to the Library of Congress. There's plenty of information out there if you just know where to look. Some of this information is hidden in plain sight. Now, there is something going on right now that I want you guys to be aware of. The gods, the ancient Egyptian gods, are on this planet in the flesh. But it's not just them, because these gods had physical avatars that they had the ability to integrate with. Some of you guys are going through an integration process right now, and you do not even know that's what's happening to you. For those of you in the Risha tradition, I got some news for you that's going to blow your damn wig back. The Orishas are also coming back in their avatars. The various different renditions or roles of these Orisha are coming back to their physical avatars. Now, let me put you up on game about something that blew my damn wig back. it was brought to my attention that any of these deities that are returning back, their offsprings are also living deities. So in our tradition, we were told there was, 400 Orunmila and 600 Ajagun. Ajagun means beings that cause infliction. Orunmila Orishas. Well, let me put y'all up on game about something. There's millions of them. Millions of them. Because of the offspring. Because of the offspring. So if you are an offspring of any of these gods, you yourself are also a god. If you are the offspring. Now, I need you to keep in mind when I speak about higher aspects, and I specifically told you guys, to my knowledge, on Kai alone, you have at least 33 different aspects. You actually have way more than that when you look at this from a multiverse perspective, and way more than that when you look at this from an omniverse perspective. But I'm just dealing with Kai to simplify it for you guys, because Kai has 33 different dimensions. 33 different dimensions means 33 different land masses. That means there's a version of you on every continent on Kai that you don't know anything about. That's living out their own reality that you don't know anything about. And I'm hearing there's way more land masses than 33 on Kai. Besides the 7 that we know of, which is where we live at right now, I'm hearing there's actually more than 33. Y'all get caught up in that 33-degree masonry because of the 33 different continents and the 33 different dimensions. And you always sit up there and run from yourselves and say they're worshiping the devil. No, they just have knowledge about this world that you don't have. There's mudras that look a certain way that you would associate with the devil. But your ignorance leads you down the wrong path because you're uneducated and you do not study. So they will have you running from yourself. So you don't ever discover the information I'm giving you right now. But there's at least 33 different versions of you on Kai right now. Right now. And you actually feel sometimes these different versions of yourselves. These different continents, if you start looking at the old world maps, these different continents that's been here for a very long period of time have different melanated beings on these continents that are very technologically advanced. And the only way that you can get to these other continents is that you have to match the frequency of these other continents to be able to get there. Not to mention, you got to have the key code to get access, but there are portals here that you can actually walk to and walk straight in through the portal and you're somewhere. See, they're stupid enough to think that you're only going to focus on going to the ice. Oh, I got to get to Antarctica, because see, with them, they have to do everything physical. With us, we don't have to. If you want to get to where you want to get to, you can just go into a meditative state, put in the coordinates and go. You ain't got to go physically anywhere. Ain't nobody physically going anywhere. When you see them talking about they're flying out to space, they're flying out to those other continents on this planet. That's what they're doing. Some of these land masses are 5-dimensional. Some of these land masses are 4th-dimensional. Some of these land masses are 6th-dimensional. When we stepped away from the original Holy Trinity as a family unit, when we stepped away from that, that's when everything went to shit. When we stepped away from that. So to the ladies, yes, the goddess also is the Most High. just like Olodumare is the Most High. You just need to understand that when we say the Most High, we're talking about both Father and Mother. Not just Father, it's Father and Mother. I need you guys to understand there has been a concerted effort on this planet to wipe out any power or show of power of the divine feminine energy. But let me tell you what's happening. It's women now that are moving into these positions of power in politics. It's women now that are moving into these positions of power with these corporations. You're going to start seeing more and more female CEOs of corporations. You're going to start seeing more and more women in government. You're going to start seeing women more and more in big time private sectors and shit like that. I've been paying attention to the moves that are being made right now. In the priesthoods, ladies, you need to be aware of some things. These men out here are not going to want to give up their titles so easily, so they're going to try to move against the high priestess, but I'm going to let you know that will prove to be detrimental on their part. That will be detrimental on their part if they do not have the ability to adjust. They won't be here very long because we are returning back to the ways of the divine feminine. And the fellas have to get in line to play their role in their position. And if they choose to move against that, which both mother and father is restoring back on Kai, they won't be needed here anymore. That includes all spiritual traditions that are coming up that we're dealing with, religions, the whole nine. Some of this shit's even going to be dismantled. There is going to be an overhaul in certain spiritual traditions because they have deliberately suppressed the divine feminine energy, deliberately. And those priests are currently under judgment. Whether you're an Awo, whether you're a Babala, whether you're a Tata, whatever you are, if you've done anything to participate in the suppression of the divine feminine energy, you are under judgment. If you're starting to experience certain things, especially as it pertains to your power waning, you better be paying attention to what it is that you're doing. And I suggest you get in line very quickly. Very, very quickly. The women that are going to be coming to the forefront on a spiritual level will be heavily protected because they are placed on mission to put this information out there and to also teach the ways of how it was before. You have a lot of beings out here that are trying to destroy the family unit by putting all kinds of information out there, passing on certain laws, doing all types of crazy shit to destroy the structure of the family. And the only people that this is going to affect are those who fall for the trap. Those who don't understand that they're only seeing 20% of everything that's going on, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes with the other 80%. Those individuals that are buying into a certain particular narrative, if they buy into that, they basically have done a contract. In which case, they've already sold themselves and everything about them to a particular ideology that is not of their own. A lot of this shit is learned behavior. Learned behavior. From traumas that they may have experienced early in their childhood, which they refuse to acknowledge. So it is imperative that you guys are clear about the real Trinity. The real Trinity. Father, mother, son, or daughter. her name, I will start putting her information out there big time. The name that they're talking about in the Bible is not correct. That's manipulation. Although I know her name, in terms of the name that they have in the Bible, it's not correct. That's not the real name. And what they did was they mixed some other stories into that. For an example, the battle between Michael and his brother Samael, the great battle. Samael is also associated with Satan. But they never told you that it was his twin brother that he went to war with. They left that piece of information out, remember? They turned around and said that he went to war against Lucifer. He didn't go against Lucifer, the goddess. That's not what happened. It was a very powerful female angelic that went against Lucifer and won against that battle, won in that battle. It wasn't Archangel Michael. Michael was fighting his brother. So they took those two stories and they manipulated those stories and turned it into something else that's not true to cause confusion. See, the problem is a lot of these stories, people don't know the correct starting points to these stories, which is the reason why there's so much confusion out there. If you don't know the correct starting point, that's why when people say things to me, I ask them, what is the correct starting point? They can never answer that question. Well, then how do you know that the information is correct if you don't know the correct starting point? So now what needs to be done is you got to go and find the correct starting point to these stories so you can get a better grasp of what the hell you're trying to find out. I need to find out the correct starting point to the Most High. I need to understand it. Like, what the hell is this? Why is the mother being denied to be the Most High? Well, the mother was never denied in being the Most High. It's just that information was taken out of the books and was never promoted. It was never perpetuated. And all the shrines of her was destroyed by man. Because the man didn't like the fact that the Most High had gave a certain kind of power to the divine feminine. This is the reason why you see all these wars out here taking place. The United States been in war since its inception, 246 damn years. Since its inception, the United States has been in war. These niggas stay warring. Every year it's a war. Have you ever known to live in peace inside of America? There's always a damn war. That wasn't us that did that. That was them that did that. Destruction, war, taking over, resources, killing, maiming. If you go and you read the stories of all these different stories, who was behind all this bullshit? Who was behind all of it? It's the elephant in the room that needs to be addressed. Who was behind all of it? It wasn't us. They're tired of us now and the destruction and the corruption that we have allowed to happen, especially those who are the children of the Most High, God and Goddess. You have dropped the ball on a whole lot of shit. Your parents dropped the ball. Your parents' dropped the damn ball. And what's your offspring going to do now? That's why these offspring are so unruly, because they actually recognize the bullshit. And they're not taking no shit from the old guard anymore. Because they can see the writing on the wall. That's why I tell people, don't separate yourself from the youth. They're actually super intelligent. They actually know what time it is. These new babies that are coming in are the rainbow children. These children are coming in knowing what time it is. So when you start hitting them with old shit, they're going to reject it immediately. Immediately. Old systems of control is not going to work with this generation that's coming in. Y'all want to call them generation lost? There are some out there that are lost as hell. But also, there's a lot more of them out there that aren't lost, that are very much in tune to what the hell's going on. Highly intelligent, came in knowing what time it was and knowing what their mission was. You're just not listening to them because you think you know every damn thing. You ain't listening to your kids. When they come and tell you shit, you're not listening because you think you know every damn thing. So what do kids do when their parents don't listen to them? They go find a soul tribe. That's what they go do. And next thing you know, you've lost control of your child, but you ain't admitting that you weren't listening to the child when the child was speaking to you. You didn't want to hear when the child was talking to you about some new ideas or some new concepts or some stuff that you never heard of before that just sounded crazy to you. You didn't want to hear any of that shit. So you brushed them off. The roosters are coming back to crow on that ass. I want you guys to get prepared for more changes to come. Until humanity gets in line with the correct order of things, destruction shall continue. And the way I'm seeing it, the way this is looking to me, and I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on a mass scale, the way this shit's looking to me is that there's a lot of people that are leaving from here that you guys don't have any idea about. There's a lot of people that are leaving from here that have left already within the last, from the last 2.5 years, guys, there's been millions of people that have died. That's in this country alone. I'm not even talking about other countries. And I can't even imagine that scale, when dealing with other countries. I'm just talking about the United States by itself. I ain't talking about no place else but the U.S. Just to start there. There's a lot of people that have left the United States that have died. So much so that if you start doing your research, you'll start finding out that the casket companies are running out of caskets and shit. They can't create enough caskets to bury people. And these people are dying in their 30s. These people are dying in their 20s. These people are having heart attacks and all types of shit. Y'all know why. Y'all know why this is happening. Those who turned on them, who turned and did not have enough courage and strength to believe in themselves as well as the Most High. And they chose to take that mark of the beast. They're either suffering with health issues or they ain't here no more. Because you chose to listen to man, but you didn't listen to your inner higher self. You didn't consult the Most High. Should you do this? Should you do that? You didn't listen to your intuition. And you allowed fear to put you in a place that you shouldn't have been placed in. And I know that some of you guys were probably really felt that you were doing the right thing, but your actions were based out of fear. And when a person is operating in fear, they don't think straight. Remember that. There's a new breed of human that's coming into this realm. There are new breeds of humans that are being upgraded even as we speak, or people that are being upgraded to a new breed of human, I should say. No, make no mistake when I tell you guys that your higher selves, which is a God aspect, whoever that is, They're integrating with you right now. So there's a lot of changes that are taking place amongst everybody on the planet. You need to come back to the original Holy Trinity so the family isn't destroyed. Remember what I told you. Father, mother equals one. But it's father, mother, son. When you start talking about from that galactic aspect, that was father, mother, son. There's a lot of powerful stuff that's taking place right now before you guys' eyes, but you don't know what you're looking at. And I'm going to start breaking that down a little bit more as things progress, and I will tell you, this is what this is. They told you this, but that's some bullshit. This is really what it is. This is really what's going on. Real fast, someone sent me a message about the Vatican shit, about the Vatican's money returning back and all that. Let me touch on a couple things real quick concerning this. I know this has y'all concerned. First and foremost, that's a scare tactic. That's number one. It's all scare tactic. It's all scare tactics. Number two, it was explained to me that the banks are now, what we're dealing with is what you call a quantum financial banking system. Okay? A quantum financial banking system is what everything is transitioning to. Quantum financial banking system. The whole fear tactic, scare tactic shit is just to deter you from this information I just told you right here. Everything will become digitized because of this quantum financial banking system. But I want you to understand something about this system. First and foremost, this quantum financial banking system was created in the quantum realm. And any of us have the ability to create something in the quantum realm and then make it manifest here on Kai. Just so you know. If you know how to do it. Where I currently reside, my home was in the quantum realm first before it manifested itself in the physical to me. That's a whole nother level of manifestation. That's some next level shit. That's why I don't ever worry about finances. That's not something I'll ever have to worry. It's not even an issue to be thinking about. If I want to manifest something, I'm just going to put it in the quantum realm. I'll design it in the quantum realm. Then it'll fall down here to earth and I will literally be brought to what the hell it was I created. I will literally walk right smack into it. Literally. And I may even do a live about how to manifest your dreams through the quantum realm. I think that would be pretty dope to talk about the manifestations that you can do through the quantum. Everything is moving into the direction of the quantum. The healing, the banking systems, every system that you can think of is moving in that direction. So don't get caught up in the fear tactics of the stuff that they're putting out there to scare you half to death. You don't need to be fearful of it. Now, you won't have to worry about the dollar not being valuable for several more years. Because I did check into that. That's going to take time. They're not printing up any more money. What it is it's just the money that's already in circulation. And until all that's returned back to its sender, that money will continue to be utilized. But they're not printing up any more money. It's just the money that already exists. You're just passing it around and so forth and so on until it's done. So that part of it is going to last probably another 7 more years. I would say probably by 2030, we won't be utilizing the dollar bill anymore. Could be a little bit before that, but my educated guess is about 2030. It was revealed to me 3 years ago that it was going to take 10 years for that money to come off the streets. Okay? But the banking systems that we're dealing with right now are the quantum financial system banks. So it is on some whole other shit. And that information is going to be revealed to you over a period of time. So don't get caught up in the bullshit about what the Vatican is saying. I understand the Pope's been dead. I understand that's all actors and actresses. I need you guys to understand that anything that you see being placed out here in the media, actor and actresses, it's up to you not to fall for the narrative. All right, guys, I'm done. I appreciate you for taking the time for the morning jewel drop. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.